That is called Sila Tarsika. You have seen?
Is the CT scan is different? CT scan is
After
different.
this I will ask you.
Okay.
CT scan is different than this?
Yes.
It's better than.
Yeah, better. They can ask you practical examination. Sila Tarsika. Generally they are asking you in practical examination, Sila Tarsika. But they can give you anything, no problem. Okay. Bismillah. Today you are studying about the pituitary gland. What is pituitary gland, my dear friend?
It's a gland that
Gland located in the base of the skull.
Yes, very good. It is an endocrine gland. But more
that is
good answer, it is ductless. Ductless endocrine gland.
Yes.
What do you mean by endocrine gland and endocrine gland?
In the grand ductless, exocrine, there is a duct from the
Duct.
tissue.
Why is it called endocrine?
secret inside the body.
Because it release its secretion in one part and translate this secretion in the other part in the body.
Yes. Because the hormones of this gland from the inside. Endocrine. Exocrine, that's from gland, but from the outside. Okay. So, pituitary gland is a ductless endocrine gland. It lies in the pituitary fossa, or also it is called Sila Tarsika. Sila Tarsika or pituitary fossa. The pituitary gland name, another name of pituitary gland is hypophysis cerebri. Hypophysis cerebri or pituitary gland. It lies in the pituitary fossa in the anterior surface of the body of the sphenoid. This is the kullo from here to here body of the sphenoid bone. This is the greater wing of sphenoid, this is the lesser wing of sphenoid, like Jinnah. Okay, so this is the pituitary fossa. Pituitary gland is very small gland. Its diameter is about 1 centimeter. 1 centimeter in diameter. 1 centimeter in diameter. It is slightly oval. Oval, you understand?
Yes.
Like this, oval, but
Faisal.
slightly elongated. Okay. It lies in the pituitary fossa. And this gland is called master endocrine gland. Master endocrine gland. Why? Because it stimulates the other endocrine gland, like adrenal gland, parathyroid gland, thyroid, other endocrine gland, suprarenal gland, other. It is called master endocrine gland, and this is very important for the life. For insan, it is very important. Why, my dear friend? Because it secretes so many hormones. Most important hormone is the growth hormone. Growth. It has two parts: anterior lobe and posterior lobe. Anterior lobe again divide. This is the posterior lobe. This is the anterior lobe. Anterior lobe again divided by a cleft, by a fissure, into pars anterior and pars intermediate. Okay, this is for theory purpose. Nobody can show you there. The anterior lobe divided into two parts by a cleft, by the pars anterior and pars intermediate. Okay, there are so many things. Pars anterior giving a tuber-like projection. Okay. From the here, the relation of the like this, and there is a foramen in this. Foramen. Understand foramen? Yes. Okay. Yeah. By that, the infundibulum, that is tube-like process, emerge from that foramen, from the pituitary gland, and attach to the hypothalamus. This is the, my dear friend, this is the hypothalamus, and this is the thalamus. Attached from here to the hypothalamus. Okay? Hypothalamus is very important part of the brain. Most of the function of the body by the hypothalamus. Sleeping, eating, every function of the body by the hypothalamus. Now, the relation of the pituitary gland. And tell me, what is this foramen? An optic. This optic chiasm. Anterior relation is the optic chiasm. Posterior relation, this is called dorsum coeli. So posterior is the dorsum coeli and also the pons and basilar artery here. Pons and basilar artery with the dorsum coeli. Anteriorly, optic chiasm. Posteriorly, dorsum coeli, basilar artery and pons. This is posterior relation. The lateral relation is the cavernous sinus. Here like cavernous sinus on the lateral side of the body of the sphenoid. Cavernous sinus. Cavernous sinus is very important for the theory. They will ask you question, sure. Question is out. I will show you in the Jissa. The cavernous sinus, why its name is cavernous sinus? Because in so many things, suppose that this is the cavernous sinus, so many things passing through this cavernous sinus. That is two important things, internal carotid artery and abducent, 6 cranial nerves. They will give you in theory. Or in the lateral wall of the cavernous sinus. Most important thing. Third is the oculomotor, fourth is the trochlear. In the lateral wall of the cavernous sinus, third oculomotor, fourth trochlear, and part of the fifth. Trigeminal is called fifth cranial nerve. So, maxillary and mandibular branch.
There is no ophthalmic?
Maxillary and mandibular and ophthalmic are also part of that in the lateral one. Okay? So, anything? So, this is in the lateral one. Now, this cavernous sinus, they can ask you. This cavernous sinus from where to where? This is apex of the petrous part of the temporal bone. And this is the superior. What? This orbital fissure. So from posterior surface of the superior orbital fissure to the apex of the petrous part bone, this is area of the cavernous sinus. Okay. Now inside, internal carotid artery and abducent nerve.
fissure.
Third and fourth and part of the fifth, lateral wall of the cavernous sinus. Okay. Now, my dear friend, the superior relation, I told you anterior and posterior relation and lateral relation. What is this? What is this? You are not baby. You are Shabab. Okay. Thank you. Sorry for this, my dear friend. The anterior relation is the optic chiasma. Posterior relation is the dorsum coeli, basilar artery and pons. Lateral relation is the cavernous sinus. The superior relation and inferior relation. Superior relation. Here is the diaphragma celli.
Diaphragm muscle.
Superior relation diaphragma celli. So, what is diaphragma celli? This is the part of the durameter. This is part of the durameter, and that 4 parts of the durameter. This is the called falx cerebri. Cerebri, this one. They can give you in imtihan, falx cerebri. One part. The second part is called tentorium cerebelli. This one, like tent, like khema. Between the hair-like cerebellum, hair-like occipital part of the cerebellum. This is the khema, like khema.
Tentorium cerebri.
Fox cerebri attached to crista galli. Fox cerebri
Falx cerebri attached to the crest of the frontal and crista galli. Okay. Now, my dear friend, 4 parts I told you durameter. Number 1, falx cerebri, tentorium cerebelli, and falx cerebelli. Here, falx cerebelli, tentorium cerebelli, and diaphragma celli. This fold of durameter attached to the anterior clinoid process, both sides, and posterior clinoid process. And in this, there is the middle, there is a foramen. By that, the infundibulum of the pituitary gland emerge, go up, and attach to the hypothalamus. Yes. Okay? Now, my dear friend, so anterior relation, the superior relation is the diaphragma celli, that is fold of the durameter. Inferior relation, this is the body of the sphenoid.
Sphenoid sinus.
And sphenoidal sinus. If you broke this, there is hollow space. That is called sinus. This is the maxillary sinus, sphenoidal sinus, ethmoidal sinus, and frontal sinus. Okay. This is the relation of the pituitary gland. They are important for the theory purpose. Nobody going to give you. But cavernous sinus is very important. Cavernous sinus. Branches are so many. Go to the cavernous sinus. Number one, here, this is the lesser wing of the sphenoid. From the parietal to the sphenoid, this is called a sphenoparietal sinus. It go to the cavernous sinus, both sides. Intercavernous sinus, from one anteriorly here joined, one posteriorly. Intercavernous sinus. And here is the superior petrosal sinus, inferior petrosal sinus. Inferiorly, the cavernous sinus drain into the inferior and superior petrosal sinus. This inferior petrosal sinus go to the internal jugular vein, and the sigmoid sinus, it go to the superior petrosal sinus. This is important for the MCQ. Inferior petrosal sinus go to the internal jugular vein. That is continuation of the sigmoid sinus. But the superior petrosal sinus go to the sigmoid sinus. Okay. Ahlan wa sahlan. Okay, my dear friend. This is the drainage of the cavernous sinus, how it is going on. Okay. Now, what is the, I told you the relation, the arterial supply of the pituitary gland from the internal carotid artery, because internal carotid artery to the lateral one. With the cavernous sinus, the internal carotid artery giving 2 branches, superior and inferior hypophyseal cerebral artery. Okay. The vein intercavernous sinus here anteriorly and posteriorly. The vein from the pituitary gland go to the internal cavernous sinus. About the nerve anterior lobe of the pituitary gland is called adenohypophysis. Posterior lobe is called neurohypophysis. So the most of the nerve lie in the neurohypophysis.
The posterior.
Yeah, posterior lobe. And in anterior lobe, mostly the blood, venous. What is the function of the pituitary gland? Anterior lobe is producing the growth hormone and TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone, and ACTH, adenocorticotropic hormone, and FSH, follicular stimulating hormone, mostly in the female. You know female?
Yes.
Yes. Now he knows female. Okay. So, and the growth hormone. Growth hormone. So, if you ask any person what is the function of the pituitary gland, they will tell you directly growth hormone. It producing the growth, you become shabab. From the childhood, become shabab. After that, become azur. Okay. So this is the posterior lobe, my dear friend, produces the hormone that is called antidiuretic hormone, that is called vasopressin. And oxytocin, most important in the female, that during the delivery. You want delivery? Okay. This contraction of the uterus wall, because my dear friends, when teachers are teaching you, they want to relax something to you. That's why I am talking in the middle, that you feel relaxation. Sorry. Okay. So, oxytocin is the most important case of female for contraction during the labor of the detrusal muscle of the uterus. Okay. This is the function of the artery vein. I want to show you the use. Nobody. But you go and see this. Okay.
شوية يا شباب شوية.
Okay.
من أول جالس يسوي تعبية خلاص.
Group 4. What is group 4? What is in your hand?
شوي بالله شوي.
Percept? Okay, no problem. You can take anything, but don't destroy. You put here. Give me this table. No, kursi. Any table here?
No.
This is the table. You don't know table or kursi? Ya Shabab. This is the which nerve? Optic nerve. This is the internal carotid artery. This part, you looking this? This is the diaphragma celli. This one. Looking this? Diaphragma celli. And here. This is the infundibulum. This one. You looking this? This is the infundibulum. And inside is the pituitary gland. You looking this? This one is the infundibulum. This one. This in the middle of the diaphragma celli, it's making opening. And this dorsum celli coming out. And this is attached to the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus cut with the brain. Okay. And anterior relation, optic nerve, and optic chiasma. And the posterior relation, this is the dorsum celli. This is the anterior clinoid process. This is the posterior clinoid process. The diaphragma celli is attached here, and attached here. In the middle of this foramen by which the infundibulum arises. Okay, anterior lesion, optic chiasma, posterior lesion, and this dorsum celi, and superior relation diaphragma celi, inferior relation body of the sphenoid and sphenoidal sinus. Lateral relation, my dear friend, very important for this. You look, this is the internal carotid artery. How it is going? It is going inside the cavernous sinus. This is the internal carotid artery, and part of the cavernous sinus here and cavernous sinus here. It is going inside the cavernous. Understand? So in the lateral wall, this one, and this is about the relation of the pituitary gland. And pituitary gland, I show you the infundibulum.
Could you repeat, please, because
What? Come to my left, but try to listen.